Good morning. It is ridiculously bright this morning. It is just a few minutes after sunup, and oh my goodness how bright it is. So, it definitely feels like fall is here. It is a nice crisp around 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and the wind is very chill. It feels great. You guys know that I like it cold, and those of you who have come to my events know that I enjoy the cold and rarely ever wear a coat. Reptile and his wife even remarked on that during the camping trip a year or two ago. Speaking of camping trip, in case you didn't get the notification, it is indeed canceled this year because of hurricane and financial hardships. Many people that wanted to come can't because of the money, and also now because of the hurricane, many people don't want to come. So in case you missed the message last week, there is no camping trip. And today on my Subscribe Star and on social media, I'll be making a further post and reminder that the camping trip is indeed canceled. So I just wanted to say that again on my channel in case there was anybody who might have missed me talking about it last week. Now, fall is upon us. And what does that mean? It means the voting season in America. Now, before we talk about the voting, I want to talk about something more important than that, which is family, connections, friendship, and being a decent person and influencing people positively in your life. Now, unless you are some kind of sad unfortunate who has no family, no friends, no connections at all, which I hope no one listening to this right now is that way. I'm not going to stop the video for the vehicle. I'm just going to walk off the road for a moment. There we go. And there's another big work truck coming, so we're just going to stay up here. So I hope that no one listening is entirely alone. I hope that. If you are, I don't really think I'm talking to you, because most of us have at least some semblance of friends and family that we know in person. And in the fall, that is when we oftentimes in the Western world, especially the Anglosphere, we see family. Whether it be for school, whether it be for Thanksgiving, or whatever your fall harvest holiday equivalent might be. We also have the holidays coming up, New Year's, Christmas, etc. Now, that means you're going to be spending more time indoors and probably be spending time around people that you have long personal connection to. We're going to head back the other way now so I can take up my blast shield. Man, it's bright. Woo! Okay. I don't know if that sun is going to silhouette me out of my own video or not, but we will see. Okay, so it is very important to understand the difference between internet connections or internet people connections and in-person people connections. I have to counsel people on this sometimes because, not surprisingly, a lot of my friends are kind of on the autistic spectrum, and they kind of struggle with personal relationships and socializing. And I want to say this every year around holiday times, that the people in your life are more important than internet friends, even if you like your internet friends better. They're more important to you than me. They're more important to you than your best frog that you keck with on the internet. Because real people have a real connection to you. No matter how much you like me and my channel, no matter how much you have fun with your fellow frogs online, doing whatever it is you get up to, video games or just having fun trolling anti-whites or leftists online or whatever, those people don't grow old with you. Those people don't take care of you when you're sick. Those people don't hold your hand when you're in the hospital. Those people don't spend time with you if and when you have a marriage and you celebrate having your first child. Being with people who have a personal connection to you is paramount in building a healthy life for the vast majority of people. Maybe that's not 100% true in everybody's case. Like maybe if you're like a true autistic alpha sigma or a true autistic male sigma, maybe that doesn't apply to you, but I don't think that's most people. So, joking aside, it is important to cultivate the relationships that you have with your natural family members, with your natural family support. And this looks like part of, what is this? This just was blowing across the road here. Well, I don't really know exactly what to do with this, so I guess I'll put it down here. There we go. Somebody might come back looking for that. That might have blown out of someone's truck. I don't know. But I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully someone will find it that needs it. If you couldn't tell, it is ridiculously windy, by the way. And I postponed starting the video by like 10 minutes because the wind was just so strong I could barely talk. And it's picking up again. So I think I'll keep this short. Actually, I can duck into Rose Cliff here. And maybe it won't be as windy. It'll at least take me off the main road a bit. So, man, here comes another big truck. Lots of big trucks out here today. That one's a flatbed. I wonder what it's out here for. Don't see that kind of truck out here very often. All right. Loud truck. Anyway, the reason why I encourage you to invest in people that are personal to you and that you know in life, like in meat space, face to face, is from my vast experience of having two lives and sort of online internet activism life and trying to build a real life. While I do feel more sympathy and connection to frogs who are aware of things, it's not the same as my mother, as my cousins, as my best friend husband guy and his father, as his sister, as the friends that we still have that we talk and hang out with once or twice a month and have since we were in high school or whatever. Like, cultivating in-person relationships is very important. That is how you feel grounded, and that's what you have to fight for. And I know that it might be weak, and I know it might be, not the same as it was decades or centuries ago, but it's still true. It's part of the human condition. People that we can see and touch and smell, etc., those are real to us. They're real to us in a way that names on a screen and that strangers that you know that live halfway around the world that you might see at a function once every year or two. It's not the same thing. And in pursuit of that, it's healthy to learn how to talk to people who aren't frogs. And I hope that you learn some of that from my channel. Every year I talk about this. If you have burnt bridges with your family, you can repair them. If you've burnt bridges with your friends or former friends, you can repair them if they're willing. Reach out. Tell them things like, hey, I've learned that, being so politically vehement is not healthy, and I'm not that way anymore. Stuff like that. I've said those words before just to try to smooth over a relationship, because it's not exactly a lie, is it? Like, when you realize being so passionate and fervent about all these ugly things we've discovered, whether it be about, central banking or racial issues or religious conflict between, Judaism and the West or whatever, you can know these things, but you do have to come to a point and realize most people just can't give a crap. They just don't have the capacity to care about these things like frogs do. They just don't have it. And if you don't want to be alone, you have to give some ground. And I know that sounds weak, but it's true. Personal relationships and building a family and having a community, you're going to have to make some compromises. Unless you believe you are a force of personality strong enough to galvanize everyone around you to think and be the way you are, very, very few men have that trait. You are probably not like that. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be assertive. You totally should be, and you should stick to your guns when it comes to the things you're passionate about. But you also have to temper that. Temper it with wisdom. I'm going to stay in the sun because it's too cold in the shade. I didn't realize how cold it was going to be with the wind out today. Wow. Whew. Okay, back out in the sun, it's manageable. Okay. Anyway, so that's really what I wanted to say today. If you live in the United States, early voting starts soon. I'm probably going to go vote either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to vote for the Trump, of course. But when it comes to voting, I think you should. And obviously this time for the presidency in America, I think you should vote for Trump. Like, I know he's not our guy and all this other shit. Like, I get it. But it's better than the alternative. And I don't think that voting for him is a bad idea if it seems like the other side wants him dead. Because whether or not you think Trump is a great guy or going to help the white race or help stop the pause or whatever it is you want to say about it, there are people in his faction and people who support him and can get things done for us that the other side won't do. And that's why I'm voting for the Trump side. That's it. So, when it comes to casting a vote, don't look at it as a way to make big change. That's not going to happen. Look at voting and modern politics as a way to buy us time to build and to prepare to take back things with real politic. Because real politic is coming whether we want it or not. And I think that we aren't ready. Because if the anti-white oligarch Kamala Harris side of things takes over and pushes out everyone else and has total power, we don't have much time at all. But at least if there's some time, I think things might get a little better. And with the amount of awareness that I have seen among boomers and older Gen Xers in my family and friend group, I do think that culturally we are reaching some kind of breaking point with the awareness over COVID, the awareness over election rigging, the awareness over the rampant pedophilic, sexual exploitative nature of the people who rule us. And there's a lot of people now who are even questioning the special relationship between America and Israel that I've never heard talk about it before. And I think these are all good things. And I want to see if that can grow into a healing direction for us and our countries. And so that is why I'm still voting for the containment right, is because that will give us time. And I hope and I pray that things will get better without things getting a lot worse first. But again, real politics is on the horizon, whether we want it or not. We need to be ready. And this is why I think you should become at least aware of what's going on in your local politics. Like around here, you need to care about the sheriff, you need to care about the mayoral executive of the county, that kind of thing. Around here, it's pretty good. The people who are in are pretty good, and they're not being challenged by anybody else, and all the people that I think are pretty decent folks that are in positions around here are still going to keep them. So that's good, but maybe that ain't the case where you live, and maybe you can do something about it. Because remember, it ain't really a president that's going to fix things. It's you and me and the people around us, the communities we build, and the men that we lift up as sheriff or community leader or church leader that will say no to all the anti-white shit, that will say no to corrupt policies when bigger governments tries to enforce them around here. So, you know, you got to care. You got to care a little bit. And I think that it's easier to care about what's around you in your local area than getting caught up in like big tent movements like MAGA and shit. Like we've seen what a disaster all that is the last 10 years. Don't get involved in that stuff. Use it for what it can be used for. But only care about your local. Only care about what you can personally influence and what affects you personally in your area while being aware of the bigger picture stuff. And if you have the time and the energy and the money, maybe network with others of like mind like the Old Glory Club guys are doing. But that's not for everybody. Like, it's barely even for me. I like staying small. I like being focused on my local area here. And maybe that's just because I'm mountain people and that's how Appalachians are. I don't know. But that's my advice to you today. Hopefully you've got some decent wisdom out of the things I thought about talking about today. But I need to head back and get ready for the news trough. Because like usual, I record these on Monday morning because it takes forever to upload anything out here. So I record my Tuesday morning walks early Monday morning. So I'm got a long day of sifting through the news trough and getting Discordant Dragons ready tonight. So we'll see you guys Thursday night for more Gulag Cafe or Empire of Lies. I don't know which one we're doing yet, but we'll do one of them. And I hope you have a great week. Keep heart. Speak the truth to all who have the ears to hear it. And hold on to hope. Don't let the fire in you go out, because we can beat this evil. And there is a positive western sunrise coming for us. We just got to strive for it. God bless.